Hi everybody, I hope everybody's doing well with the lockdown and everybody's in good health. Stay safe, stay separate. And I'm Rich Carlson, N9JIG, and here we are with a May version of my office and shack. Let's see, I've got the TV with the virtual rail cam in Flagstaff, Arizona in the background there. And this is the radio cabinet that I'm sure you've all seen before. Nothing's really changed in that. It's still the same as it has been. Starting from the top, obviously the clock. There are 8 BCT15s, 4 BCT15Xs, 4 BCD996XTs, my R8500, a couple two-way radios I use for ham and GMRS, my 746 Pro that I use for HF. There's a Kenwood dual bander and 4 GRE PSR 600s that I use for Pro 96com. On the desk in the back, there are some portable radios and on either desk chargers or stands, and printer and miscellaneous stuff, some of my model aircraft and such. And then of course the TV I use for watching virtual railfan, various other type of video stuff, or just watching TV shows. Seeing this is my man cave, got to have my lazy boy. And then there's a TV on the wall, which I also use for railfan, virtual railfan, or other videos, and occasionally you can watch TV on that as well. There's a weather station down there for my outside weather channel, or weather system. And then here's the computer desk. This is an L-shaped uplift computer desk. It goes up and down, and it's on casters, so I can move it around to get at the back of the desk to work on the cabling and such. I do have some scanners on the desk that I use for everyday listening. There is, starting from the top, there is a SDS 100 on the side and an SDS 200 in the stack, 2 996 XTs, a TRX2, and a PSR 400. The PSR 400 is used mostly for railroad channels. The TRX2 is used for local digital stuff. The 2 996 XTs, one's used for just scanning, the other one's used for close call. I typically use the SDSs for local listening and searching out local trunk systems and such. There's a Home Patrol 1 and 2 next to it. And behind the radio stack, there's a 8-port Stridsberg multicoupler. So there's one antenna connection going to the desk. And then there's 4 monitors. They are all currently running on the Mac, which is a Mac Mini, which is down there. And the Mac Mini runs all 4 monitors. I've got a external GPU so that I can use all 4 monitors with that. There's also an Intel Hades Canyon NUC, which is kind of hard to see. It's poking out down there underneath the monitors. I can turn that on and connect that to the 2 top monitors by using the input selectors on those. And so when I'm using that, I'll run them off of those top 2 monitors, and then the bottom 2 monitors will be on the Mac. And then next to that's the home security system, my work phone, my desk mic that I use for when I do our Facebook Live or FaceTime or other Skype type calls and such. And just the miscellaneous stuff on the desk. And then in the radio cabinet, I will turn this around and I'll turn on some light in here so you can see what's going on. And back up a little bit so you can actually see it. So there are 3 Stridsberg multicouplers up the top. The bottom one is the main one. That's the 4-port, and the antenna, the best antenna I have in my attic, goes to that Stridsberg multicoupler. And then those 2 8-ports are fed off of that. There's actually a 3rd 4-port multicoupler down on the bottom part of the stack to support the PSR 600s. The top 2 multicouplers cover the 16 Uniden scanners, and then the 4th port on the main multicoupler goes to the R8500. And then of course there's the back of all the radios. There's a a couple of USB hubs that I use, and each of the Uniden scanners have a USB 1 cable modified with a DB9 connector, and then that goes to the USB hub, and then there's a cable going from the USB hub over to the computer. There's an ear-nav radar box to do ADS-B, and then there's the power for the various radios, and then the back side of all the radios. Yeah, it looks a little messy, but all the wires are labeled and I know what they are. There's a couple network connections that go to the wall over there, and then there's the antenna patch port. So there's a 27 port patch port, and all but about 4 of them are connected to antennas up in the attic. There's a couple ST2s, a couple ST3s, a couple Discones, a couple dual band ham radio antennas, a couple HF dipoles, and a couple other various antennas, the ADS-B and such. So they all go down to that patch panel, and I can pull that patch panel off the wall. Cables all go up the wall and up into the attic, and then below that there's some network ports on the bottom. And that's pretty much it for the antenna connections. So when I'm working, typically I'll work here at the desk. Obviously, sometimes I'll move the desk up and so I can stand. And so here's the desk going up. And I try to keep the wires clustered and taken care of. I hate seeing wires hanging around, so I've got the wire management down pretty well. There's a single bunch of wires going from the radio cabinet to the desk, and they're all bundled, and then I've got skirts around the underside of the desk to hide the other stuff. Underneath the desk there's actually a shelf underneath the desk that has things like the switch, the USB hubs, some power supplies for the monitors, and various other things, so that keeps a little less clutter on the desktop. The monitors are on a stand. There's a it's a clamp-on stand that clamps onto the back of the monitor, the back of the desk, and then the monitors clamp on that clamps onto the desk. Then the monitors are all mounted to that. So it all works pretty well. The top monitors are kind of tilted downwards a little bit, so it makes it easier to see, and keeps everything nice and neat. The whole desk goes up and down. I can unlock the casters and then scoot the desk around the floor when I need to get access to something. So makes it real easy to move things around, as I tend to do. So that's my latest view of the shack. I'll make one circle around here, and there's the desk, radio cabinet, and back around again. So it all works pretty well, and I hope everybody enjoys it, and we'll talk to you all later, and be safe. This is Rich Carlson, N9JIG.